Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Chris Chan article where today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be following up from Chris's brand loyalty in the past. We are going to be following up with Chris's very unconventional approach to business generally. That is not my fault the frame got broken transaction. The envelope was clearly marked fragile and handled with care, so it was shipped well in a bubble envelope. Either you being trollish or the postal carriers are to blame for the frame's arriving condition. An example of Chris's customer service skills. To direct all blame, basically. See how well that goes for him in the real world. Chris launched an online business in June 2014, selling custom arts and crafts through eBay. A year later, he moved shop to Etsy. We'll probably discuss why shortly. Under a brand titled Quickville Shopping. He also began selling printed copies of Sonichu on Lulu. He held a steady stream of customers, despite issues with production and selling orders on time. For a while, he had achieved his dream of selling his own Sonichu merchandise, and was making plenty of money. However, exactly 2 years and 1 week after the start of his business, on the 8th of June 2016, Chris's infamous laziness caught up with him, and he was banned from Etsy for ignoring orders over a span of months beginning from when he bought a PlayStation 4. He did not take responsibility for the self-inflicted failure of his business. Instead, he lied to save face and cast blame on Lulu.com's staff for having stressed him out of labeling Sonichu as fanfiction and banning his account half a year beforehand in December 2016, even though he had actually ban evaded by opening a private account and was back to offering books through Lulu services only weeks later. After the Etsy ban, Chris fell back on begging and paid video requests to cover Bob's credit card bills and his expensive toy purchases. In May 2017, he felt like returning to work on the Sonichu comic and throughout the next several months began to rebuild his business, using Patreon, Lulu, and accepting interviews for money. And we're going to start with the list of ventures by type, storefronts. On the 1st of June 2014, Chris began cashing in on his internet infamy by offering custom artwork for sale. He later expanded his sales to include autographed photos, medallions, custom amiibos, and personal items related to Christory. This would be his most profitable and otherwise his most important commercial endeavor. Over the years, he would earn thousands of dollars by selling off Sonichu-themed memorabilia and sundries. The largest financial contributions were often made by aspiring weens to establish contact with Chris and put themselves in a friendly position. He would not always fulfill his orders, however, and after receiving an abysmal 85% satisfaction rate through customer services, his merchant account was suspended on the 16th of June 2019. Proposals to circumvent the ban through a partnership with Jacob Soklis were never implemented. On the 2nd of September 2015, Chris expanded his online business store to Etsy. He continued the same offerings from eBay and added a donation listing for the contribution of the Sonichu series. Days later, on the 5th of September, a YouTuber named DStex donated $1,000, thinking that Chris would deliver 100 pages of Sonichu. Chris completed 16 pages, before dropping the project entirely. This move remains controversial with Christorians, as while some believe that he honestly wanted Sonichu 11 to continue, others argue that this weenish move validated beginning in Chris's eyes, as seen with the influx of begging videos in the Financial crisis. In addition to DStex, dozens of fans had also donated. Chris simply claimed that he was too stressed to continue Sonichu number 11. I call that complete BS because if you intend to make any money of this whatsoever, Chris, you cannot fall back on that excuse. However, Chris still had a passion for making custom amiibos for several months afterwards. He took it seriously enough that he was willing to drive hundreds of miles through Virginia just to buy parts for amiibo stores to sell on Etsy. He wasted hundreds of dollars buying amiibos on eBay, thinking that the market for his custom figures would sustain itself indefinitely. This was not the case. and Chris eventually grew apathetic and bored with earning his own money. To complicate things further, Chris purchased a PlayStation 4 in March of 2016. The new life upgrade proved too distracting, and he ignored Etsy orders, often for months. Ultimately, Etsy took notice and banned his store from... Let me just do a little quick check on something there. 1 second. Never mind, it was just about an order. Self-publishing. Chris took over a decade to try any self-publishing channels. Clyde Cash beat him to the punch by posting Chris's Sonics on Lulu. Chris simply retorted by encouraging his fans not to buy them. Great convincing there, I must say. And to simply wait for him to release the real versions later. According to emails from 2010, Chris claimed that he was working on fixing up his pages to be published on Lulu, taking an unreasonable amount of time to accomplish this amazingly simple task. I was about to say, I could have probably taken a matter of minutes to do this, and he eventually dropped the project altogether. Undeterred, Chris began selling printed copies of the Sonichu comic on Lulu.com in September of 2015, as well as offering autographed versions through Etsy by ordering the comics from Lulu, signing them, then shipping to the buyers. In December of 2015, Chris was banned from Lulu for selling fanfiction. In true Chris fashion, he responded by threatening Lulu's executives with physical violence. Very, very mature. Despite the fact that he was on probation for an act of violence against a GameStop employee, which, if they had saw that, they would have almost certainly have thrown away the key with Chris. Chris was unable to continue selling comics in January of 2016. Probably rejoining Lulu under an altered name, he was discovered within a few months, and again his account was shut down. Deprived of other reliable avenues, Chris has torpidly sought other ways to sell his own works. He opened a shop on Redbubble, an online shopping company where users can sell custom printed items based on images of the seller's choice. On the 3rd of October 2017, selling pictures of himself pre-Tom Girl and drawings of himself on frame pictures, pillows and miniskirts, among other things. Much later, on the 23rd of November 2019, the spiritual successor to Chris's Etsy opened up as a new website under the same name, QuickvilleShopping.com. Here, Chris would offer his handmade trading cards for a My Little Pony theme game at extreme prices. And we're going to take a visit to Quickville Shopping itself. 1 second, I'll have to open up a separate tab altogether. 1 second, boys. Let's see. I am moving the shop to Etsy Quickville. I know what I have to do. I have to go to Twitter to do this, to find his store, because I believe he has left a link. Twitter, here we go. Right, 1 second, guys. This isn't going to take but a moment. Quickville Shopping, here we go. Page not found, meaning that I think the page, it must have been taken down. Yep, it must have been taken down. That's quite interesting. Anyway, I suppose that's that then. On his handmade, in case you were wondering, he was selling them for very nearly hundreds, if not for nearly $1,000 for like a pack of, like, what was it, like 10 packs of trading cards for $1,000. And if you've seen the artwork themselves, then, well, actually, I'll tell you what, I'll click on Quickville Shopping anyway, just to give you an idea of the prices. It should be listed here. Okay, 1 deck of trading cards with Chris's own artwork, and for anyone familiar with Chris's own artwork, you'll know exactly what the problem is. $67 for 1 deck. You know, a standard deck of Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading cards costs, I think, about $11 for a starter deck, which is much better value. Contains 172 cards of the finest electric, so you would say that maybe that justifies the price, but the artwork certainly does not. Then there's the expansion pack. This one, $26 with custom tuck-in box, $15 wrapped in shrink wrap, so $41 for an expansion, which seems a little bit much. Then there's another expansion pack, 40 cards in this one, $36 with 21 custom, so it's even more again. You're talking into $57. Then there's also an expansion pack that the cards are not even properly drawn or even colored. You're talking once again $41 for stuff that doesn't even have color. And then there is also another expansion pack, $30 for 19, so $49 for this. Another expansion pack, 31, so again we're pushing that up to $57. Then there's also another expansion pack, $41 and $25, so that's again $66. Oh, we're getting there, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. $36 for another $22 for this is the front for just 40 cards. So what is that? That's again $58. Another one for what's this, like $58 for $58. You also get this massive one of promo cards, which is just 18 cards for $15. You get 18 cards for $50 is, for what's essentially stolen assets, is nowhere near close to the original asking what anyone should get. Another expansion pack, same as before, $57 for, how many is there this time? 45 cards for $57. Doesn't sound worth it. Then there's the Solitude box bundle, $330 and $220 stripped in shrink, 500 cards, 540 card box still included. You can get that for $550. That's insane. $58, $57 for basically just Chris stealing other people's artwork. So that's theft. You're paying for theft. More stuff done on commission. Another again, $57, and that's. And also, I think there's also like this is what the comics come to if you sell them. 120 in bulk, 120. I'm sort of gonna go down to find out exactly what the biggest one is. Singular, $170 for bulk, 170. There's a lot of stuff. NSFW for $200. Trying to sell porn for $200, which is about $201 more than it's actually worth. 200, 130. Now there's other stuff. $36, 25, 30 sold out. You can get all of those, ladies and gentlemen, as per nobody asked in the first place, and nobody has got that amount of money to waste. If you buy stuff from Chris, you're admitting to yourself that you are indeed wasted. Your money is wasted on you. And so is Chris, so maybe you two would get along fine by buying that stuff. I wouldn't even like turn my nose in the direction of prices like that. That's ridiculous.